Karma. Karma is a universal law that is found in all major religions. Eastern and Western religions. Now, it might not be called karma. It might be called cause and effect. Cause and effect is something that will affect you even if you didn't cause it. For instance, if you ever saw the curious case of Benjamin Button, that was a good example of cause and effect about how the woman woke up late, the man woke up late, and the woman missed the taxi, and the girl forgot to tie the bow on to the present for the woman, and the taxi had to wait, and he had stopped to get some coffee. And if all these things wouldn't have happened, the girl wouldn't have got hit by the taxi. It was cause and effect, and the cause and effect was the causes were not even her fault. Her girlfriend stopped to tie her shoe because her shoe was broken. The causes were not her fault, but the effect affected her because she was the one that got hit by the car. That is a good example of cause and effect. That is a universal law. That is the reason why in God's personification of sovereignty and kingship, bad things happen to good people, because sometimes the cause is put into place from the evolution of the universe constantly moving, constantly expanding, things constantly happening. It's creating multiple effects at the same time. Different causes. Me talking to somebody is creating an effect and possibly making them think about something that they never thought about before, but they might have just clicked on this video by chance looking for another video. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a cause and effect. And sometimes the effect, you didn't cause it, but the effect still happens. Not only that, but then, the karma, that is what you put out there, goes back to you. I had a cousin that, I'm going to give you an example of this. I had a cousin that was a baller. She was a baller. I'm not going to mention no names, but she did some things that weren't quite legal. Okay, now you got her on the one hand, she flipping cars, her kids is all, they dress nice, they go to good school, she is not struggling, she has had a house built in the suburbs, she had a house built in Atlanta, she has a man, and they just doing it. Meanwhile, I'm going to nursing school struggling, I'm on public aid, I'm getting $278 a month to take care of me and my daughter. $278. And some food stamps, about $200 worth of food stamps. And I am doing the best I can. And I am sitting there knowing that I'm doing things legit because I'm setting a good example for my child. I am trying to live my life obeying the rules and the laws of the country that I live in. I am trying to be what society defines as an upstanding, upscale citizen of the United States of America. Meanwhile, this person is hustling and they making more money than me. So, I began to question about karma. Okay, do good guys really finish last? And do bad guys finish first? Well, needless to say, she got indicted by the federal government. She did 9 years in prison. And it wasn't that I was happy to see her go, but I was satisfied to know that karma does exist. And if you do bad, you're going to get bad, And that is another universal law. That is a law that, this is what I don't understand. I don't understand how there is an enormous amount of fanatical belief systems, even when they don't make any sense. But there is no improvement on society. I was telling somebody earlier today, I said, if there are 90% Christians in America, how come it's so corrupt? How come there is so much conniving and backstabbing going on? And then they say that man has a naturally sinful nature. It's not that I don't agree with that, but to me, it's part of evolution. At what point do you begin to pinpoint the negativity that is inside you? Because this is a personal responsibility that everyone has to learn and to grow. At what point do you begin to learn from your mistakes? At what point do you begin to grow and look at yourself and analyze yourself and say, okay, this habit that I have is not a good habit. This habit needs to change. No. It is, my daughter asked me, she said, Mom, do you mind if I continue to be known as a Christian? I said, no, I'm not going to be mad at you because everybody in your classroom is a Christian. If you come to class and you say, I'm a seeker, or you come to class and you say, I'm not a Christian, they're going to automatically think you're an atheist. You don't believe in God. And if you don't quite know how to explain it, well, I do believe in God. I just don't believe in God the way you believe in God. Okay, so what, are you a Muslim? Do you believe in Allah? Well, no, I don't. I don't necessarily have a standard set of belief structures. Then they're going to think you're insane because that's not normal. What's normal is to be part of, belong to something. It's not normal to find your own personal path in life. But what is normal? Why would you want to be that? If it means going along with what everybody else is doing and it's full of hypocrisy and denial, I think that comes along with having to believe things that you don't necessarily agree with. After a while, denial becomes comfortable because you are taught not to question things and you push aside what you don't want to see. I think that me seeking the truth, I seek it in everything. Music, people, movies, interactions, the atmosphere, nature, my loved ones, my hated ones. I constantly seek the truth, and not only that, but constantly seek the lesson, even in the midst of the negativity. What is my lesson? Now, I went from making a decent amount of money. I'm not going to say what, but a decent amount of money, to losing multiple jobs, not just one, multiple jobs. It began with a demotion. Then I got another job. Then I resigned from that job to go to a better job. Lost that job for something that I did not do. I began to question my faith and everything in this. And I think at some point I tried to bargain with God. Okay, I give you my life if you just make my life better. Well, that didn't work. My life kept getting worse and worse and worse. Now, at the end of the day, I took at least almost a $2,000 a month pay cut. Not only that, but added on children in the midst of this process. Had another baby. So now I have gotten to the point where I was balling with 2 kids and now I'm struggling with 3. What was my lesson? My lesson was that it is not meant for me to be materialistic. That is just not in my nature, and I cannot force it in my nature. And it causes me to stray away from mainstream hip hop that's talking about how much money you got, because I know it's not in my nature to wear the latest designer things or have the latest hairstyles. I'm a simple child, and I like being a simple child.